This factory builds millions of parts that go into millions of cars. But what's more impressive is that some of the people running this place started here as apprentices.
I'm at Sertec in Birmingham, an integral part of the automotive supply chain. Let's go through the factory.
Sertec was founded in 1962 by a gentleman called Harry Mosedale. If you look back now at the career and how Sertec have developed, ahead of his time really in an entrepreneurial kind of sense. And as the story goes, Harry Mosedale went to the customer and took the tool away, did some work on that tool, produced the components, and within the next day had delivered then back the required specification on these parts. I think as he then built Sertec through the last 60 years, that kind of passion and approach resonates in a lot of the management team within Sertec now. So Grant Adams, the chairman of Sertec, 40 years at Sertec, with that kind of passion, that kind of everyday showing up during the good times and the bad times, it only inspires you when you come and join Sertec and be part of that team really. So been supplying automotive parts for the last 60 years, not afraid to change in direction and have a go. The answer's always going to be yes once we get into the detail. But over the last probably 5 years, we've changed from more body and white parts of the automotive components up until now to more recently the EV product now. Buzz bars, anything to do with electrification. And as you go through the factories, you'll see the changes. What was predominantly a body and white company has now completely ripped the rule book up now, and we're working on many different platforms and solutions to the EV side as well as the body and white traditional side.
Tom.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Nice to meet you. What's going on?
This is our 300-ton servo press. We start by decoiling the material on our big decoilers. The coiler runs straight through the straightener. We take all the bend and bow that you get with coiling the material straight out of it. Nice big loop as you come through. And then there's sensors and an encoder here. So as the press is doing its blows on its cams, it tells it when it's clear. It feeds by an exact amount each time, pressing your parts. So you get no deformities. There's sensors all over it to stop it. If there is any collisions, anything gets stopped or caught or a part doesn't fall away properly, sensors will stop the press completely so you don't get any deformed parts, any damage, and that'll just keep feeding all day long.
So it looks like you've got multiple tooling, I suppose. So cutting out holes and then you cut off the strip.
Yeah, so everything's done in stages here. You've got, I believe this tool's 6 stages, so you've got each little element of the part being cut as it goes along, until, like you say, you get to the final bit, we crop it off, falls away, goes into our zone 1.
So you press the parts, then what happens?
So when they run off the presses into the conveyors, it runs along the conveyor around, through a camera system, a vision system that then tells the robot where the part is to pick it up. That gets picked up, you get to pick up a copper first, an aluminium first, comes round, copper on top, then goes a bit further on our super track, bit further along, gets pressed together, and then leads into a next zone, which is laser welding. Parts are then laser welded to get 20 welds, big circles on each part, like welded together, then moving on to the next zone, where it gets picked up, put into spoon bending tools, which are just tools to form the copper, which we've got 2 lots of tools it runs through. We overbend it to start with, and then bend it back with it being copper, quite an elastic material. So we do one bend, then another, and then we're all good. We then move on to our we go through laser etching, which just etches a number along our part, tells us when the part was made, what day, what variant it is, so you can track the part if you ever have any issues. We then move on to our end of line, which has a vision system to position on the trays, which actually picks up all 4 corners of the trays. The part then tells the robots again where to place and makes offsets for every part, so every part sits in its tray correctly and nothing gets overlapped, so the trays can then be stacked up.
Global EV sales passed 14 million units in 2024. An EV needs over 100 bus bars per battery pack. To keep up with this demand, this production line ensures an output of 160,000 bus bars a week. Every time you accelerate, brake or charge your EV, power flows through the connections of these bus bars.
So what happens if this is an intolerance?
So the bus bar tolerances are actually measured within 1/10 of a millimetre. To do stuff like that, we have to use equipment like this.
I'm Kayla Haynes. I'm a toolmaker apprentice and I've been here for 4 months. The people that inspired me to be an engineer was my brother and my dad, because they went into this sort of work, and my granddad also. I've always been quite a creative person, and we've always been quite almost like a DIY family. So just the concept of engineering and making new things and problem solving was quite natural to me.
My name's Henry Murta. I'm an assembly engineer here at Sertec and I'm a year 1 apprenticeship. My dad, because of everything that he showed me, like my remote control cars and anything to do that moved, engines, cars, everything. He just showed me everything and got me all into that.
I'm Will Whitmore. I'm a process engineering apprentice and this is my first year. I thought it'd be really difficult going into it because obviously it's something completely new that I hadn't done yet. Whereas I've gone into it, and I'm not going to say it's easy, it's definitely been a challenge, but it's something that I go to and enjoy, and it doesn't feel like I'm working because I'm enjoying it the entire time and actually having fun learning new things, making new connections with new people.
My name's Ben Richards. I'm a 3rd year tool making apprentice at Sertec. Best part about my job is being able to go into work, no 2 days are the same. There's a different tool with a different issue that it's my responsibility to sort it out and make that difference.
My name is Mikolaj Gralak. Everyone knows me here as Miko. I'm a CI Controls apprentice and I'm in my 4th year for Sertec. Chose engineering because of I got my stepdad who is an engineer. Done work experience with him for a week and really enjoyed myself. I also liked within school maths and the sciences, so that was my strong suit and thought that would be probably the best journey for me.
Hi, my name's Sean Bearing. I'm in the quality department and I've been here for 3 years. I thought it was going to be very male dominant, but I know that's very different from what I thought because there's a lot of women and there's a lot of welcoming people even though I am a girl.
This machine is a servo press and it's the strongest tool in this factory. When it comes down, it pushes with 800 tons of force. That's equivalent to 133 elephants standing on top of each other. But the clever bit isn't how strong it is, it's how controlled it is.
A servo press doesn't just smash things. It can move slowly, stop exactly, change speed and feel what's happening as it presses.
That means parts come out consistent and accurate every time, which is why presses like these are the beating heart of the automotive industry.
So I'm Rachel Starkey, Senior Talent Business Partner at Sertec, and I have been with the team for 8 years in total. Always very, very fortunate to be in and around the early career space within the organisation. So from being that kind of first point of contact for all of our apprentices to today heading up learning and development for the workforce, but still heavily involved in our early career programmes.
So what are you looking for in young people?
I think for us, we're a business that's built on kind of attitude and behaviours. If you bring that desire to learn, eagerness and willingness to kind of get stuck in, we've got a lot of people around the organisation willing to impart their knowledge and share. So I think the key thing for us is that passion, that drive, that want to learn and push themselves, appreciation for feedback and kind of taking guidance around the organisation. That's really, really important. And I think having a sense of where they want to be, it's really, really important to us as well. I think if I look at the last 8 years I've had in the company, I've seen a lot of individuals come through and grow and develop with us, which is absolutely fantastic. But one thing that stands them apart is that real clear vision of where they want to get to, so that we can kind of create that path for them. And then it's very much a two-way process.
Okay. So if there's young people watching this, what do you want them to do next?
I think if you're curious about manufacturing engineering, the best thing you can do is get out and see it in real life. Get connected with the colleges, go to open days, watch out for events in industry. Particularly businesses like ourselves will often have open evenings or days where you can come and see the factory in action. And through your school, make sure that your teachers and career advisors are aware of that interest as well to connect with industry. The other thing is websites. There's loads of really good information on career opportunities, vacancies coming up, and exposure to work experience as well. We have kind of an open door policy. It doesn't matter the time of year, as long as you have that kind of time commitment and an interest in a particular area, we can look at supporting some exposure and learning to see if it's the right environment.
So Chris Durant, Continuous Improvement Manager at Sertec, been here now for 8 years. Started off in the automotive industry for a tier 1 supplier, moving on now to Continuous Improvement Manager.
What does it take to be a good engineer at Sertec?
A good engineer at Sertec is all about attention to detail and a good attitude with creativity. There's no such thing as a problem, it's just an opportunity to improve.
What are you looking for when you're building a team?
Attitude. Within our team we've got a very diverse group. 60% are apprentices, the other percentage is built up from the shop floor, but it's always about using their initiatives and trying to look for opportunities within our processes and them small wins, really, getting them small wins.
Carl Milburn, I'm Group Operations Director at Sertec, and I've worked for Sertec now for going into my 7th year.
What mistakes do engineers think they can't make but should?
Well, I would say engineers can make as many mistakes as they possibly can to learn. My only prerequisite is don't make the same mistakes. So yeah, mistakes are healthy. We use them mistakes as lessons paid for in advance and use them wisely.
James, what the hell happened there?
Essentially, I've just missed our process. So I've picked up a part that hasn't been processed and I've skipped it and I've put it straight into our finished goods, which is a big no-no. And that has essentially just triggered our VAR system, similar to what the football use. We've got people downstairs.
So you've got cameras up here?
We have got cameras, yep, and they're going to check the footage to make sure that I've not put a bad part in there. If I have, then we can send a patrol inspector out here and he can identify what part it is and take it back out.
Okay, clever system.
Yeah, very good.
There. He's gone from A to C. Innovation doesn't stop here at Sertec. Here's another project that third-year apprentice Jack designed and deployed. So Jack, tell me about the project you just showed me on the shop floor.
So that's our crane system that I'm implementing across the shop floor of both Wincaster House and Gorsey Lane.
Okay, what was the reason for that project?
So it basically comes down to they're not as efficient as we would like them to be. So part of my job is to look at them. I got given a brief which was how do we make these better? And now I'm implementing different systems to put that into place.
So what's changed then?
So originally they filled out the pre-shift inspection booklet, just paperback. And what would happen is it could either get lost, it get damaged. Some people could even forget to do it. So basically we want to have full control of them cranes.
Okay. So paper to digital.
Yeah.
And they're relying on our apprentice to make it happen.
Yeah, I know it seems quite big, but it's something that Sertec really do. They do like to give apprentices some really business critical projects.
In the next 5 to 10 years, I'd like to have finished my degree within engineering, which would be supported by the company. In terms of which direction I'd be going, I'm not too sure because the flexibility of the company allows me to see so many different areas of the business, whether it be within tool room or in quality or even onto continuous improvement. There's countless different pathways that I can take, so at the moment I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to end up landing.
Here at Sertec, people are very much at the centre of everything we do. Creating an environment where people can come, learn, engage and grow into the individual they want to be, massively important to us. And that's not just for young people, it's for anyone that joins the Sertec team. We're very fortunate that we've been recognised as People and Skills Champion with MX Awards, and most importantly that next gen recognition of Gold Kite Mark shows that we invest in our young people and really want to listen to feedback as well. So working at Sertec, it's about having that opportunity to learn, the freedom to try, grow, make mistakes and do better, and also really empowered to be in part of something that is heavily impacting the industry that we work in from a very early start in your career.
Factories like this don't just build parts, they build people. If you're interested in a career here, you can visit sertec.co.uk/careers to find out more. If you happen to be watching this with an automotive supplier and you want to show where these parts end up, DM me.
You were probably told that manufacturing is dull, dirty or dangerous. I'm on a mission to prove that working in manufacturing is something to be proud of. Let us know in the comments which factory you want to see next.